You guys are literally the best people in the entire world. I was fixing to go to bed when I checked the comments one more time and happened to notice we hit 25,000 subscribers. And we have managed to do that in 19 months, located in rural Southeast Louisiana, starting out as a farmstead channel, morphing into world travelers, and now covering world politics. You guys are amazing. I cannot express to you, it means so very much to me and my family to have you guys here with us, being part of our family, helping us figure out what is the government doing, learning how to grow and secure our own foods, build a business debt-free, build a school, all the things that we're doing together, and always, most importantly, spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. Guys, God tells us that he will multiply and prosper everything we put our hands to. This is evidence. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And here are some of our most beloved and hated clips from the past. Thank you again. Garden any way you choose to, and any way that you possibly can. It doesn't matter if your garden looks identical to my garden or an industrial garden. Just work with what God gave you. Try not to till your earth. Keep your microbes.
Don't kill it in with it.
Yeah, you don't have to tear it to pieces to grow food. People would say, well, this is too hard. This is too much work. And maybe in the beginning, it is a lot of physical labor. But what we'll have is a very healthy, sustainable type of gardening. I don't need heavy machinery to produce as much food, if not more than an average small farm. And I still have our rabbits over here, chickens over there,
And the worms.
and then we have worms in the shop. We always have worms working. That's part of our livestock here. Everything has a purpose. It's all part of the ecosystem. He'd much prefer to be inside watching his Father's Day movie that we purchased and eating supper. So know this, guys, if you're gonna homestead together, you have to be on the same page. You have to be able to work together, and one of you has to be the strong one, because I tend to get a little weepy-eyed when something dies on the property. Huh, baby?
Oh, yeah.
And he has to remind me that if I keep crying, we're not homesteading anymore.
I will sell the whole place.
So you have to know each other's weaknesses and each other's strengths. You have to be able to help each other out. Work together as a team. This is me working as a team, by the way. Good morning and welcome to Starkey Farmstead. We're located in Greensburg, Louisiana, and that is in St. Helena Parish. We're a small farmstead. We're 2 acres. We own our property and we farm it. So we are a farmstead. Just wanted to go over a couple of things with you today. We've all seen on the news all of the farms, distribution, processing plants burning, bombing, planes being flown into them. And then we hear about all these cattle dying in Kansas, all the chickens and turkeys that they killed across the country for bird flu. I don't really care why. I'll be very honest with you. I'm not worried about it. However, some people are. And I think we should feel some urgency, but no fear. And maybe that urgency is the Holy Spirit telling you to secure your food system. So one of the ways that you can do that is purchase breeding rabbits or chickens, some way that you can actually get some protein into your diet. Gardens are great. Gardens are great. I'm all about gardens. But these small animals will also help secure food for you, your dogs, and they will make fertilizer for your garden. We don't purchase any outside inputs for fertilizer or your homestead to be profitable. We have 10 simple steps for you to follow. So get you a pen, some paper, and let's have a chat about this. Number 1, write your vision. It's very hard to ask other people advice on how to start your vision if you don't have it written down. In the Bible, God tells us to write your vision down so that other people can run with it. So sit down with your spouse, yourself, your children, whoever you're building this enterprise with, and discuss, what is it? What is your sole goal for doing this? Number 2, name yourself and choose a logo. Subscribe and comment. Coming to you from Southeast Louisiana, from Starkey Farmstead. All right, another one. Everybody do this. It's a closed loop, right? Miss Sam's gonna show you today the whole, that one too. The whole point of this tour is to show you how to do a closed loop forming system where you're not having to get things that are not within your own ability. So it's building sustainable systems. All right, guys, come on. We're gonna go see the comfrey. Come see. If you step on this. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. Sorry about the funky clothes. I've got a lot to do this morning. It's extremely early. My husband was woke up at 3:30 this morning to Atlas, our small farm dog, going insane on the porch. I mean, just flat going insane. Now, he's a fighter. One-on-one, he'll fight. So my husband knew. He knew if Atlas wasn't already taking care of the problem, we had a big problem. So he grabbed his 410 and a flashlight, made it around this pond towards the rabbitry where he could hear the noise, and realized we had 4 medium-sized dogs attempting to stand where we keep our compost pile and leap into or onto the cages where the rabbits hang. Like, we hang our cages. I'll take you over there in a second and show you the infrastructure. I need to stay out of there for a little while though. The rabbits are traumatized. It's just, all I can say is thank you, God, for protecting what you gave me at all times. What should have been a complete and utter massacre ended up with only 3 dead rabbits. So 3 dead rabbits, 3 dead dogs, and an injured dog somewhere. I mean, we shoot to kill, but what, 3:30 in the morning, it's a little hard to aim and shoot. And when he let go with that shotgun, the big ones didn't stay very long, but the small ones did. They tried to hide. I have on like warm-ups. My husband laughed at me. Boy, you can tell in South Louisiana, we are not made for the cold. It's probably 70 degrees that I'm out here freezing. It's cold to me. So I have long sleeves and sweatpants on this morning, and I'm just not feeling it. It's too cold, like for real. I just want to go back inside and get back in the bed. So, but I'm up. It's time to feed the animals. Sun's coming up over the tree line. But I do want to tell you guys, this will be part 3 of the USDA and RCS coming to tour the farm yesterday. Best day, guys. Best day. I spent the afternoon crying out of joy, because God promotes you. And it was a great, great tour. But this part of the video, it's like 6 minutes long. It's basically the worm bins. You know, we show him our worm bins. We talk about how we layer the worm bins, what we use off of the property, the point of it. And I think the greatest quote in this entire video was, he said that I have synergy. So he really liked our closed loop systems. I think he understood what we were aiming for here. As Starkey Farmstead, you know, basically pulling out of the system. Being able to create every input that we need on the farm to therefore create outputs to keep the farm going and to bring in, to generate cash. So if you're doing that backwards, if you're bringing in a lot of inputs, but you're never having a lot of outputs, you're going to find that your farm, your hobby farm, your market garden is costing you more than you're actually making. And if you put that on paper, back in the day, guys, we used to have books. You would write it. You would write down what you spent, write down what you made, and at the bottom it told you the truth. Now we got all these cool little, you know, computer handy dandy programs, and sometimes they don't make it real clear that you're losing your butt. It's the only way to say it. So I hope that you guys start to watch the videos, that you take some of the ideas we have. I hope you share some of your ideas with us. I'm always looking to improve my sustainable loop systems. I'm always looking to bring in a new way to do something. I'm all about trying things. I'm all about real science. Don't give me an idea that you haven't tried. And I might try your idea and it might not work because we're not in the same environment, or I don't have the same inputs to create the same outputs. That's what I tell you. That's why we do these videos. It's all about education. It's all about sharing ideas. It's all about encouragement. If I can do it, you can do it too. So hope you guys have a blessed day. We've got a lot to get done here today, here at Starkey Farmstead. And I'm obviously having trouble getting my thoughts out, right? You guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share our videos. We just want the world to know that you can create sustainable loop systems. You can secure your own food. You can do it without bagged feed. You can do it without commercial fertilizers, without commercial pesticides. You can use everything that you have in your hand right now to create the vision that God gave you. So have a blessed day. I hope it's not too cold where you are, because like I said, I'm freezing. See you guys. Talk to you later. Close to needing to be run. So when you pull back, there's my castings. So I always tell everybody when they ask me,
see the worms?
Yeah, you see them?
Mm-hmm.
So these bins are really large, see them? So when people say, you know, how do you know you have worms in here? This.
There's no worm.
Right.
Smell that.
Right.
So I have,
Pure dirt.
yeah, I have about,
Not dirt, huh?
well, it's soil amendment. I have about 25,000 worms on each side. It's just the size of these beds are really, really large. So unless I do a food pile similar to this, it would be really hard for me to pull them in for you guys. But these, it's very close to needing to be run.
Yeah,
That's why it's so low. Like usually it's up to here with bedding, but they eat. And I tell people, ask me, what do you use as bedding? I'm like, everything you put in here, bedding is food. So that's the most simple way to keep it in your mind. Otherwise, you'll confuse yourself. If you put it in here, it must be, yeah, biodegradable for them.
Anything biodegradable.
Yes, sir. We layer them with leaves, grass clippings, shredded paper, cardboard. And that's how I know it needs to be ran too. When we start the bins, there's cardboard here. So it's going.
Worms there.
Yeah, you see? So there's like 25, and this is all castings. Look at that.
I mean, that's pure dirt, yeah.
And there's so many worms in that. So it's so alive.
And eggs.
Yeah, and so we run them over here. We have a homemade worm. But this is the other side of the bed. So it's two separate. Oh, you pick it up? So we keep this in here to kind of give me an idea of what I'm doing, like in temperature. So we're at like 80, what is that, 84 degrees? And even in the worst of the Louisiana summer we just went through, this bed never got above 96 degrees. Okay. Ever, not one time. Yeah, this one, yeah, see the worms? Look at that. Hi everybody, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. My name is Samantha, and I am the operator of Starkey Farmstead. We are a 2-acre organic regenerative farmstead here in Southeast Louisiana. We started a 1/4 acre no-till market garden this year. We incorporated quail into our small livestock here at Starkey Farmstead here recently, and it's kind of interesting, I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you so much for rowing in our boats. Stephen and I are so very thankful. We hit our 1,000th subscriber today, and we are so super pumped, guys. It just really encourages Stephen and I. The message we have for all of you is you can do this with whatever you have in your hand, wherever you are financially, whatever your land situation, whatever your housing situation, whatever your financial situation. We truly, honestly believe that you can sustainably farm out of debt. That is our biggest message for you guys. You will see us constantly talking about upcycling, recycling, repurposing, everything we can get our hands on here at Starkey Farmstead. One of our biggest things that I think a lot of you are starting to find us through are something called sustainable loop systems. You know, they all live together in one society with no real problems. Here's the thing you need to understand. Hitler kind of had a 3-step plan. He was brilliant. at what he was doing. The first thing he did was use sophisticated advertising techniques and the most current technology at the time to spread disinformation and to spread his message to everybody. So what I'm saying is, he basically took over the airways and the films, even silent films, and then talkie films. That's what they called them, you know, back then, talking films. He took them over. He took over all the main newspapers. They would put up billboards, anything that they could do. So how does that equate to today's world? Well, take over Facebook, take over YouTube, take over Twitter. Lock people out of their accounts. Have people come in and judge your information that you're putting out there. Have people not allowed to share their opinions. I try to tell you guys this all the time. Everybody has an opinion. And it's okay to share your opinion. We're not always going to agree, but we don't have to be enemies. In fact, I listen to everybody's opinion. I don't have to agree to it, but I'm not going to incite violence against you, and I'm not going to cancel you because I don't agree with you. If I can't have a discourse with you, I'm simply going to walk away. I'm not going to call your boss or attempt to shut your business down. Now, the second thing that Hitler did was something called the Ministry of Public Enlightenment. Wasn't it here very recent that our government wanted basically like a Department of Truth? Some nonsense like that. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. It's basically a government entity that sits there and goes, nope, no, stop, nope, not you, not today. You can't say that. The Ministry of Public Enlightenment basically made it illegal for anybody to say anything against Hitler, against the Jews, against the Germans. He began to clamp down on free speech. Prior to Hitler, Germany was a democracy with free speech, all of that. Just saying. Just saying. The third thing that Hitler did was incited hatred and fostered a climate of indifference to the fate of the people that you hated. So basically, he would drum up hatred for the Jews, and then when bad things happened to the Jews, he made it normal for you to be like, yay, go kill the Jews. Now this took time. Like, the will of time. It literally took effort on his part, but he had an end game. So all I'm saying is that anybody that tries to incite hatred and then will foster a climate of indifference to the fate of the people that they hate, well, personally, you're acting like Hitler. Because that's exactly what he did. 2022 soil test results. Okay, so let's do a quick review for you guys. The only things here at Starkey Farm said that we actually use to fertilize and amend our soil, we make on our farm. So we have a chicken, quail, rabbit compost that we make in our chicken coops. We make our own biochar. We just started that, so that hasn't helped the soil test because it wasn't applied then, but we're in the process of applying it now. The third thing that we're going to be doing here, and that we've already done, or using worm castings, which we make out of rabbit manure, compost, leaves, paper, cardboard, those kind of things. So we make our own worm castings also. So we have our own compost, own worm castings, we have our own biochar. We use things like rabbit urine as a nitrogen fertilizer and a pesticide. We have videos on that. We make our own comfrey foliar sprays. We use things like comfrey in the garden. We do a deep mulch system, no till, no dig. We do it all on clay. So I want to talk to you guys about soil tests because I know a lot of people think clay soil is not a good thing. They also feel like no-till isn't gonna work for them. Well, let me prove to you that with compost, worm castings, biochar, and your own other soil amendments that you can make, like worm tea, things like that, you can really change your soil using the deep mulch no-till method. Here we go. All right, spring of 2022. Right here, our soil organic matter was 2.6, okay? So the thing about the soil organic matter is that for every point of organic matter, you can hold 1 inch of water in that soil. So here on our soil, the spring of 2022, we had 2.6. That's 2.5 inches of water that we could hold, okay? Within 6 months, that 2.6 went to 4.3 by us adding compost, leaves, heavy mulch, worm castings, rabbit manure, those kind of processes, okay? We almost doubled it. That is amazing. The second thing that I was really excited to share with you guys, our carbon to nitrogen ratio went from 9.64 in the spring, which is good, to a 10.1 in the fall, which is ideal. The second thing, our soil pH in the spring was only 4.9. Our soil pH in the fall was 5.2. Okay, now something else that I found that was very interesting was, and this blew us away, everybody away, our microbial living mass count went from like 2,000 to 8,089. Now, if you don't know what a microbial living mass is, microbes in the soil are directly tied to the nutrient recycling ability, okay, of your soil. In other words, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, all of that is being made available to my plants by the microbes, which means I never did use and never will use commercialized fertilizers like NPK. I don't need them. As I get my soil to come back alive, guys, as I increase my microbial mass, my organic matter, as I begin to feed the soil, we're seeing great strides in the health of our soil. Now, I could get in here and talk to you guys about, you know, the fact that we are no longer as compacted as we were with the no-till system. In 6 months, it made a huge difference. I could talk to you about, you know, how the respiration of my soil, the phosphorus levels of my soil. All I'm gonna say is across the board, in a 6 month, from the spring to the fall, we saw great strides in the health of our soil. And it all came from the fact we don't use any commercialized pesticides, fertilizers, or fungicides, guys. We do heavy mulch, no till, no dig, on compacted or was compacted clay soil. It's not anymore.
Easy peasy.
All right, explain to them how that came out that ground so easy.
All right, at the beginning of all this no-till, I was a completely unbeliever. I took a post hole driver and drove these T-posts down in the dirt, solid red clay. Now, all I have to do is do a little wiggling and pull it right up. And you see how far they are in the ground. That's not as far as they can go, but for a garden, that's all you need.
Look at that.
Just to make trellises. And it's just, there's no words for me to describe it because I was a completely non-believer in any of this. I've always tilled, my whole family's always tilled, and this is the first non-till I've ever seen. But you see it with your own, well, you see it with a video, but I see it with my own eyes how easy it is to pull these things up now. So, I got one whole more fence row to do.
In the yard. So what we're doing here at Starkey Farmstead this year is we are going to grow our chickens their very own garden. So this video is going to go over why you should grow that garden, what are the benefits to you, to your homestead, and to your chickens, and what should you plant? Why should you grow your chickens their own garden? It's very simple. Feed cost. With all this nonsense going on with Tractor Supply feeds, people worried that their chickens aren't getting the right amino acids or anything else that they might need, and the hidden things that might be in that feed that might be affecting your flock. Why not go ahead and create their own food source? Reduce your feed cost, or better yet, take them completely off pelleted feed. If you plant the right things for your chickens, they won't need pelleted feed. So that is a big reason to go ahead right now when it's almost spring and get your chicken garden started. All right, guys that have watched our videos for any amount of time know that I do a combination of raw food diet, herbal remedies, and regular dry food for both of our dogs. Well, I noticed last Saturday, 7 days ago, that Hammer began to exhibit a cold-like attitude or illness, right? His nose got super dry. He just acted like he did not feel well. And this is a really active 3.5-year-old German Shepherd. He was still eating, he was still playing, but he just seemed to, like, he would follow me around the property and just kind of plop down. And he would do this. He would kind of grunt when you'd make him get up, move around too much. And then he seemed to kind of come out of it. He even had a little limp going on. And then he seemed to get a little better. Well, I noticed 2 days ago that when he would turn his head really quick, he's got these big radar ears, that he would lose his balance. Notice that if he was walking and he would get too close to the vehicle and he would see his own reflection, he would turn his head to look at it, he would kind of stumble. And I'm like, okay, well, checked him for ticks real well, all of that good stuff. Then I decided to pull his ears back and just take a sniff. And what I smelt was yeast. Then I realized, and my husband had been telling me to remove the dog kennel off the front porch where he lives because I had hay in it. And he's like, Sam, that's how ear mite starts, how mites migrate to old hay. You really need to get that hay. It's not winter anymore. You need to get that hay off of that. And I kept putting it off, and then Hammer kept getting into that kennel because he just liked to lay on the hay. So honestly, I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. I think he got an ear mite deep in his ears that then stemmed into an inner ear infection. This dog has never had to go to the vet. I'm a big heal my animals by feeding them proper food, proper exercise, proper discipline, keeping their mind and their body in peak condition. This is one of those times we're going to the vet Monday morning. And I'll tell you why. An inner ear infection can go through the ear membrane, like your eardrum. I knew it was going to come to me. So an inner ear infection can go through the eardrum, especially if it's caused by mites. They can actually eat through the eardrum, which can then cause an infection in the brain. And that's the last thing that I want to do to him or want to do to myself. I put a lot of training into this German Shepherd, but it's not just that. Y'all, he's like my best friend. Like, we hang out. Like, he gives me snuggles. And that's how you do it. You just spread it back and forth, just like this. Going back and forth. Hey guys, this is my little neighbor and my little buddy. He's gonna help us do some cover cropping. Okay, so these are New Zealand white, and that is mustard seed. So Miss Sam wants you to put some in your fingers like this, just like that, and toss them. Can you do that for me? Be careful. You want to spread them out now. There you go. Throw some over here. This might be the first time in your life you can throw something and nobody gonna fuss at you, baby. Throw them over there. Get them over there. There you go. You gotta spread them out. Spread them out. Keep going. You're doing a great job. Get some over there for me. There you go. Walk over here and get some, boo. We're gonna cover this soil. Say we're making our soil healthy. Come this way. Spread them over here. There you go. He said, I'll ignore you. You'll go away. Oh, he's beautiful. He's beautiful. Let me see if he'll come to me. Come on, darling. Come here.
beautiful.
Oh, he's a baby, Stephen. Look at him. You better get that baby loving.
Buddy? Come here, buddy.
Get that baby loving.
Oh, yeah, he threw up.
Yeah, that's because his first car ride. I remember Atlas threw up all over me on his first car ride.
Come on.
Oh, he's absolutely beautiful.
Look at that boy.
Oh, hi, handsome. You want to know what your name is? Samson. Samson.
Oh, goodness. Look at that booger.
How's it feel, Steve?
Oh, you're your buddy.
I know. I am gonna cry. Stop.
It's a puppy. It's a puppy. That's a puppy. Hey, you're such a pretty thing. Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, yeah. Good boy. Oh, my goodness. He's freaking awesome.
So we're on our way home with Samson. He did get car sick in his kennel on the way here. We do have a sheet down for him. Chances are, guys, he's gonna get car sick on the way home. But everybody, welcome Samson to the Starkey Farmstead family. He's gonna get home, he's gonna get a good bath, and he's gonna see his new kennel in the bedroom, and we're gonna start his training. Right now, he's still kind of ignoring me. But that's okay, because I held him for a long time and I gave him baby kisses on his nose. Thank you guys for watching. Out of this garden, the healthier I am, the healthier they are. Keeping that nutrient cycle going at all times. Because then their manure and their waste products, we use their blood and their urine, it all comes back here. So the more nutritious I can make their feed, the more nutritious their byproducts are, the healthier my soils. You know, so that cycle's always going, always going. Cover that back up. Trash hay. So when I say trash hay, you want to make sure there's no pesticides or fungicides. There's not many farmers in Louisiana that have cows that spray their fields. It's not profitable. If it's trash hay for a cow, they're just gonna, they might put a little fertilizer in the ground, and that's all right. I mean, you have to kind of, if you're okay with it, you're okay with it. And when they roll it up, this guy had this sitting in his barn. He didn't even need it. I got a great deal. He delivered, rolled it off for me, and I don't have a tractor. How am I gonna get that off, you know? So, I mean, he did all that for me for an excellent price out of Kentwood. We have a video up with his name and number posted on our page, and he'll bring hay to you. It's just good trash hay. And as I was unwinding it, y'all finding earthworms like this up in the hay already, eating that. So that's what you want. I mean, you want to bring all that life back to your soil. Put a shovel in this soil and not pull up worm after worm after worm. And we've had the USDA NRCS come out and check our soil. We do soil tests through Canopy Field of Dreams twice a year. We do biological tests. We have increased the biology of the soil from like 1,000 to 8,000 in 6 months. We balanced our fungi to our bacteria. It was like 800 to 1. Pour water on ground flour, it just kind of sinks in the center, and then it begins to pour off in all the flowers. Samson, very close to Mom. Here come the ladies. I'm gonna walk Samson right by. I'm gonna let him see, but not touch. Come. Come, Samson. Good come. I'm gonna keep redirecting him. Out here where the chickens aren't yet, I'm gonna give him a little bit more leash. Guys, just remember, you don't want to set your puppy up to fail. So please don't put them out in a pen or out in the yard when the chickens are out free ranging and you have no way to control your dog but to scream and holler at them, okay? That is not what you want to do. A lot of people are always shocked when they see our German Shepherd literally sleeping in the chicken coop and never attempting to harm the chickens, yet this is what he eats. It's very simple. We put a lot of time and effort in training him to see the chickens, but not to chase the chickens. Go to the dollar store, pick you up a $10 sprinkler, hook it to your water hose. Keaton, tell them how much fun you're having.
big.
Yeah. Tell him you were at the what? What'd you call it earlier?
Water park.
He's at the water park, y'all. On the farmstead, kicking it with his TT Sam. And this is how you do it. You get an old tire. You drill a hole in it. Put a big, heavy-duty 1,200-pound rope. Hook it to the biggest tree in your yard that can hold the weight. Throw you on a sprinkler.
2 pounds.
Yeah, we're just 2 pals, huh? He's a good boy.
This collar is a little big, but that's okay.
So patient.
So now the collar is secured on him. I'm gonna take this one off.
Hey guys, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. I'm Samantha. Today we're introducing Samson, Argentina Dogo, to his e-collar. Now it's raining outside, so I don't want to be outside even though ours is waterproof. And also we have other dogs, and outside just is very distracting for him. So basically what we're going to be doing with him today is I'm just going to use the vibrate. I'm not worried about the stimulation button or the beeper part of it. That's not what I'm training him for. I want him to recognize that when I say his name, it's going to vibrate on his neck. And that's going to help him and I create a communication. So it's the very first time we've ever done this with him. Samson. Good boy. Samson. Good boy. Good boy. Come. Come on. Oh, good come. And you can give him treats, guys. I'm really just introducing it. I don't want to scare him. I don't want to shock him. I don't want to hurt him. Our materials got delivered for the 1/4 acre organic regenerative market garden. We began our no-till journey on a 1/4 acre of just grass, directly on top of compacted red clay located in southeast Louisiana.
This is a no-till garden. It was started, we did a year ago. So in a year's time, she turned completely hard red clay, I mean hard red clay, into a garden that's very beautiful. You take your okra. That small is bearing okra like crazy. It's hard to believe. Just a 1/4 acre. Now, here, down there, but it's a year old. And notice, she just planted the tomatoes. They're coming on beautifully. There, sunflower seeds. You got squash coming. Okra, see more okra out there. And it hadn't been planted that long, and it's growing like crazy.
And I have about 2.5 more months of grow season. So I am believing I'm gonna hit 2,000 pounds of food out of this 1/4 acre market garden. You guys wanna know how much it cost me to grow it? Are you ready? Put your coffee down. Put both hands on the wheel. You may actually wreck when you hear this. $100. $100 for over 1,000 pounds of food. Now I know there are some of you right now, you're gonna turn it off. You're gonna be like, nope, no way, she's lying. No, I'm telling you the truth. Go back out and check all our other videos out, guys. First things first, I don't purchase inputs. A 1/4 acre is a lot of square footage. A lot of square footage. A lot. I do not purchase fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, compost, worm castings, filler dirts. I don't purchase bag potting soil. I don't purchase any of it. If I cannot make it myself, I figure out another way to do it.
Recklessness of Hawaiian Electric.
So you saw these power lines swaying
swaying, snapping.
On the day of the fire, Eddie Garcia says he tried to warn the utility.
And just dial.
They didn't waste any time putting in that lawsuit, did they? They spent more time putting together that lawsuit than they have looking for these children. And I'm gonna call her young because she's not an elder, okay? And I want you to hear this clip with me right now.
Even from Molokai. I have family in Molokai as well. Soon as the fire went on, I called. Get venison, dry it, send it over to Maui.
I'm just gonna interrupt you guys. That's exactly what we would say in Louisiana. Hey, I need you to go hunting, right? Go hunting, secure some food for us. I feel like South Louisiana people can relate very well to the Hawaiians, all right? We have been forced to have to be able to live off our land to be able to afford to live.
That's how Kanaka Maoli runs. We live off the land. I myself prefer Safeway, but we live off the land. Open the doors, Nani. Open the doors. You know right now you are targeted because of what they see what's going on. Open the doors. Let the people speak. Let the people do. I grew up in housing. Halava housing to be exact. Don't put the people back into a poverty level. They're emotionally and mentally, they're already beat because of this fire. You throw them into a little town in housing, you are the one who's going to make their demise. They will have no hope. That's why we stand here in Honolulu. And I agree with the sentiment. This meeting should not be here. It should be in Maui. From the people, stop making meetings last minute. Because the people couldn't fly from Maui. They don't have money. Everything was lost. Bring it back to where the travesty is. That's on Maui.
Understand.
I have no problem flying up to Maui. My family is from Maui. Like every other Kanaka, we get family on every single island. Mahalo, Tita, for fighting for the people. You have no idea how much that means for one person to stand up in front of all of this and stand for the people. Many, many Keakua's blessings.
More than just of physically building places, it's emotional and generational damages and things that's been done. And all I can say is we can see the stewardship that's going on. We can see a lot of things. Thank you, God, for the discernment. That's all I can say. Because without that discernment, then our eyes wouldn't be open and we wouldn't be able to sit back and process the information and realize what's really going on around us.
You had called it a time of mourning. What was the word you used? It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, this is a time of ho'oponopono, a time of healing for the people. A time where people needs to take these feelings and become the captor of these feelings so that the feelings itself are not actually capturing you. We need to control the way we feel and how we interact with one another. So that's why Ho'oponopono was such a big thing in our culture. Every time there was an argument or war or whatever, Ho'oponopono always came thereafter. And the reason why...
I just got a phone call from Chris from Samaritan's Purse, and he wanted to have a little chat. So we chat. First thing, they say they were never allowed on anyone's property without permission. The video clips showing them working with FEMA on people's property, sifting through stuff, is from other parts of the island where they were given permission by the homeowners to be. Second off, they just started working in Lahaina in the last couple of days when the citizens were allowed back. I told him, I saw video footage as well as eyewitnesses saying the opposite. And so you have two sides to the story, but I told him I would put this information out because I believe in truth. Second thing, they are going to email me a copy of their permission form that they have citizens sign, which I think is very important. But I also know other churches that do similar things, so I don't think that is nefarious in itself. Third thing, he told me that, you know, they do a lot of work with people, but they are very careful never to be on people's property without signed permission. So I just wanted to put that information out because I gave my word that I would, and I will leave it up to you guys to decide what you want to believe, what you don't want to believe. But I am about truth, and I think it's very honorable that he called.
Yeah, and then if you see this right here, this is the holo. Yeah, which is the diagonal brace. Kalapao, which is the end collar. And then right here is pohana, which is the working end post.
And then that.
This is upa'a, which is the U knot. This is the type of knot that it is.
Oh, my dad loves knots. So does Steven.
Yeah, and then that right there is the pole.
The center pole, huh?
Yeah, which is the center pole.
How do you say it again?
Pole manu.
Manu. Wow, this is phenomenal. How long did it take to build this?
I think they can probably erect one of these in a day.
In a day, like a tent, like a,
yeah.
What do you got, born raising?
Yeah, depends on how much hands you get working on them, but usually they try and put these up real quick. And then this is a traditional sled. Yeah, so back in the day, these are the handle grips. You used to take them on the top of the grassy hills and ride them down head first or on your back.
Oh.
Nope,
that is it.
Right there.
That's it.
That's it. So
you know how dangerous that would be.
Forget the term of it.
Waikapu, Maui. We do have an Instagram, The Seeking Root, or you can check out our website at theseekingroot.com.
All right, awesome.
We're
Thank
all
you.
about keeping the land full, not the landfill.
That's right.
You know, table to farm, farm to table. You know, keep the loops intact.
Yes, and thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's an honor.
We can to practice regenerative agriculture.
Yeah.
Keep food out of the trash. Give it back to the land and
back to the pigs.
Back to the pigs.
You guys should see. Wait till you see them. I'm gonna put you in the front and let everybody watch the video. But it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. Thanks for coming down today. Pleasure to share what we're doing with you guys. And
awesome.
If everybody wants to grow out there, I always say, you know, it's not that much hard work. You know, like all of these things want to do it for you. So
that's right.
I just consider myself a
caretaker,
a facilitator, yeah,
a steward.
The caretaker. I'm just trying to let the pigs do their thing, trying to let the worms do their thing, and
make them work together.
They're the ones doing all the hard work. So
yeah, they are. Well, it's beautiful, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Use for your bedding.
So I use mostly horse manure and coffee grounds for the worm bins, the bedding tier.
Yeah.
So anytime you have like good mulch, like this cocoa core,
yeah,
stuff like this is also real good as a brown ingredient. But I like when I pick this up from the horse manure. It's a perfect mix of bedding and manure. And it's also partially composted and broken down.
That's right.
So it's pretty quick.
The family, and along the way, we're stopping at locally owned farms and tourist destinations, spreading the love, spreading the money you guys sent with us just for this purpose, to help with the economy. And I just wanted to show you guys this farm. The last time I was here in September, I put this video on my dad's, Papa Sammy and Allie Buck's channel, but this time I'm gonna put it on mine for you guys. So we're back in the tiny store. All of this, you guys, is made locally on Maui. By local artists, local artisans, local farmers. And so on the way to Hana to meet Justin's family and to eat for the weekend, we picked up a lot of fresh produce grown right here at this farm to help feed everybody. This is absolutely beautiful. If you guys get to Maui, make sure you get up here to East Maui. It's the Kula Farms. It's on the road to Hana, coming from the backside. Make sure you come, support smaller local farms. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. Best strawberries I've ever had in my life. I got them last time. You need to schedule all your activities at least a month before going because they fill up quick. There's something called water wars going on around the island. The indigenous families are having their water rerouted to the tourist areas. Therefore, the island is beginning to die. It is drying up, and wildfires and death is everywhere that you look. I wish I would have known this before I went, because I would have brought enough clothes that I didn't need to wash my clothes until I went home. I would have also been more aware of the fact that the people around me, whose island it is, didn't have as much water to use and would be fined great amounts of money when they used too much water. But I literally could use water aboundingly at the resort that I stayed at without any warnings or any fines. To join as a member, we have 3 different levels. We have Sprouts, we have Harvest Choice, and we have Flowers. Now, I tried to set the prices as low as possible so it's affordable for everyone. But by joining us, you're doing a couple of different things. It allows me to see your comment always. It highlights you so that when I'm checking through hundreds and hundreds of comments, because I am the only one with access to my channel, I see your comment and I can quickly respond to you. It also allows me a little more freedom to make videos that I know are not going to be monetized by YouTube. It just helps us continue to be honest and funded by our viewers. K and iron. Now that can be seeped off. Like you could literally get a spoon in here right now and pull some of that off of there, and you could put it in, say, a vegetable soup. See that? That's pot liquor. You could put this in your beans and cook beans with it, but you don't want to throw it away. See, that's what's coming off these greens as you're cooking it, all right? So that's what we here in the South call pot liquor, and it is the most important part of this entire meal. Now I'm gonna cook this for the next. But when he looked at the schedule for the February and the March, he said the hair on his arms stood up. He said, and I realized that there was a hesitancy in my spirit, Mom. He said, I feel like the Holy Ghost wants me to go now and get my rotation out before something pops off. Now it's a 27-year-old child, well, my child, 27-year-old man. He's a man, a real man, who has been in the military for 6 years and spent the last 3 years in a Holy Ghost-filled Bible school. When this kid tells you he's hearing warning bells, he's flat hearing warning bells. And he don't need anybody to justify or agree with him because he knows the voice of his God. Remember, Jesus said, my sheep know my voice. You know what you need to do. Today is the day, friend. Today is today. Today is today. Today is the day. Today is the moment in time that you are going to make the choice to prepare you and your family for whatever may be coming. Because this is not about unchecked mass migration. This is about state rights and the right of the governors to protect their citizens against a government that has now gone rogue. So, God bless you. Please keep me in mind in your prayers. I know that you will. I know that you will. All right. Suck it up, Buttercup. I got to get out there and get some food planted. Looks like I'm going to need it more now than ever. Talk to you guys later.
Right? It's 480. This is just south of Eagle Pass. And it's a hot spot because Eagle Pass right up to the
surgery
north.
Is Monday. I will recover from that. I will speak to my surgeon. I know a lot of you are worried about me. God bless you. I really will. I didn't think about it, but I will tell him I will be on an airplane, you know, like 8 days after he cuts bone all the way across, but I'll be all right. I made of strong stuff, you guys. I made of really strong stuff. I will be okay. We will fly out on the 15th, fly back home probably the 19th. I can't stay out any longer than that. I'm going to have to hire a farm manager, dog sitter, housekeeper kind of thing. I've got 100+ animals on my property, you know, 2 acres. This business still has to function while I'm going. And my husband really can't take off that much work. We don't exactly have, you know, those kind of benefits. We don't do that kind of work. So when we miss work, we miss money. You know how it is, you know. But this is our son, so we are going. I will not bother the military. My son and I have a very healthy parental relationship. We have boundaries. And I understand he is a military at this stage first, and unfortunately my son second. So I will not do anything to ever hinder his career in the military. But if something is going to happen, I will know before 99% of other people, because he's not going to keep that from me. He's just not. He's my child. He's not going to let me walk into something. And because he's there and being as high up as he is, and he is a medic, I may be able to figure out where people are moving and the kids. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to get him in trouble, but I am going to use that information to help us get answers to questions that people really aren't answering. I think everybody going to the border has their own reason they're going. The Holy Spirit is sending different people for different reasons, you guys. We don't all have to be going for the same reason. Hopefully, with more of us going with different sets of eyes, with different questions to be answered, things will begin to be pieced together, eventually showing us an entire picture of what is actually happening. So I think it's important that more YouTubers, more creators, people with larger platforms than me and people with smaller platforms get up there and get their own videos, talk to the people, because we all have different doors we can walk through. I don't have 250,000 subscribers. There are certain people that will just blow me off. However, because I have 25,000 subscribers, not that many people will recognize my face. So I can walk around with a GoPro and a concealed camera and possibly get away with some things that others cannot. You see what I'm saying? We all have our gifts. So again, like, comment, and subscribe. Ring your notification bell. We're going to be putting out video after video the whole time we're there. I'm going to be going live, the whole 9 yards. If you can, please consider becoming a member. That will help our channel. If you would like to help us fund this trip, drop it in the comments. Somebody asked me when I get there, Sam, can you help with the dogs? Can you see if you can get somebody to go get those dogs? If you're worried about the animals, if you want to put money for that, put it in the memo. Please purchase dog food. I will pick up bags of dog food, try to locate where these animals have been dumped. I will try to find nonprofits to come and get them. And if they need money, if they tell me, well, we can't afford to come pick them up, and somebody has sent money for that, I will give that nonprofit the money and make sure they retrieve the animals. It's the best I can do, you guys. The surgery, expensive, already paid for. Woohoo, thank you, Jesus. But as I'm doing this trip, I'm gonna use every penny I've got for that. So outside of what I'm going for, if there's something specific you want done, you can donate that money and put that in the memo. I have a very good track record of making sure your money goes where you want it. God bless you guys. I love y'all. I have a wedding to go to. Whew, busy, busy, busy week coming. So excited to see my son. God bless America. Please like, comment, and subscribe.